ambitious with the score. He could get it in. For the win!
Welcome back to another episode of Throwdown Thursday over here at the Amazon Game Studios. I'm Filthy Rich, and this is our man Godspeed joining us today.
You know, Rich, it's fantastic to be back in the studio behind the new Breakaway desk. I actually haven't been behind this desk before, but there's a lot of new things happening right now, not only behind this desk, obviously, but also in the game itself. You guys just released like the new kind of internal build, and, you know, I got a chance to play it, and I got to say, with all the additions from all the feedback that you guys got from the alpha, it's damn good.
Yes, so if you guys didn't get a chance to see it, last week we announced a brand new character. We unveiled Jara to the world, but they're also showcasing the new gameplay elements that Dustin is talking about, and it's going to be played for each one of our Throwdown Thursdays moving forward. But today's episode is going to be packed with two teams joining us today, coming from USC and UCLA. So it's going to be pretty heated and an awesome battle.
Yeah, it's an absolute classic. I mean, these two schools are some of the top schools in the country, obviously here in California. But, you know, I just want to say real quick, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for Asus and the fabulous products they have bestowed upon us. One of those being the VG248QE 24-inch monitor, fantastic monitor, one of the best in the industry. And, of course, the G11 desktop, which is just uncompromising in its performance.
So, with all that said, I think we're about to get things underway. Let's get right into the introductions for these two Titan teams, starting off first with USC.
USC. So the first player you're going to see there is Apocalypse. I don't know who he plays, but I'm guessing he's probably a Black Knight or Spartacus player.
And there you have it, Spartacus joining the team. So we got some good old DPS to start off that team.
Absolutely. And next up, Rich, it's going to be the Reaper of Souls, also known as Soul Reaper. And he is going to be playing Bonnie.
So very heavy DPS comp team so far. I wonder if they're going to add in a tank or a healer for the next
Or
pick.
even the other support being Morgan Le Fay. And this is going to be Eltonin who is coming in next. And you're right. I like the idea of maybe bringing in a support, potentially a healer and a Lona. Or he could also bring in Morgan Le Fay, which is literally based off of damage, but it is going to be a Lona.
So now we have some good sustain for the DPS characters. We'll see what kind of builds he's going to be exploring today, but we have one more to finish it off.
And that is going to be the last player for USC. It is going to be Pop. And the only thing they're really missing in this comp that we can see, Rich, is a tank. So is he going to go tank? And it looks like he is. It's going to be Thorgrim. So before we go over to the next side, why is it important to kind of have a good balanced comp, Rich?
Right now, just because you have two damage dealers, you really need somebody like Pop to be that tank, that front runner, just to be able to peel for any one of the, you know, their members of the team that do need help just escaping DPS from the other side.
Right.
We're going to see how it all comes together because we're going to start to introduce the players over on the UCLA team.
And how fitting, Blue, UCLA. And the first player is going to be Brendan, who is uncompromising in his play. I had a few words with him before the game started, and he told me that he is a pug lover.
I love pugs as well. Let's see who his pick. And, you know, what a fitting choice. A Black
Knight pug lover. What a guess.
For the pug lover, Brendan.
How perfect it would be. So we have a tank starting off for the UCLA side. Kind of the opposite. We had a tank as the last pick for the USC side. But now we are moving on to the Rice Boy.
Rice Boy, let's see how he's going to support it. You know, a Black Knight, this could be an opportunity for Morgan Le Fay to come in, but looks like they're going with
Spartacus.
the Spartacus.
I definitely like where your head is going for that one, though, Rich, but maybe further down the line we'll see a Morgan Le Fay pick, and we'll talk a little bit about why that's so good with Black Knight later. But it is going to be a Spartacus, so we have a tank and one melee damage dealer right now for the blue team of USCLA. Let's see who Wizard of Wars. Let's see who Wizard of Wars is going to be picking here in a moment, and that is a tongue twister, Rich. That's not fair.
And it's going to be a Lona, so they're matching up the healer that they have on the other team.
So far.
Good comp, good sustain. I like the opposing tanks, Black Knight versus Thorgrim between the two teams.
Two very different tanks, and speaking of very different, it's going to be G.C. or also known as GC coming in last for the UCLA side.
And this pick is going to determine it all, and they're going for the
Bonnie.
Anne Bonnie pick.
I hear she's a good character. I've never played her.
So this is going to be an epic feud between these two.
It is.
USC, UCLA.
Yeah. Two rival schools, star-crossed.
And
Almost
what better way for them to battle out
Breakaway.
in a best 2 out of 3 match here at Amazon Game Studios. And I believe we're going to get started on El Dorado. So please let us know who you think is going to take it for today. But for now, let's jump into the match. Again, it is USC versus UCLA.
I
Let's
can't
get
wait
this
to
thing
get
going.
into it. I cannot wait. So again, we talked about it a little earlier. It was 2 separate tanks. You have Thorgrim going for the USC side, and then of course you have the Black Knight for the UCLA side. Thorgrim is going to be a little more defensive in his play. Black Knight wants to be a little more aggressive, but aside from that, I mean, these comps are literally identical except for the tank.
So first touch on the relic is going to be by Pop the Tank, which is going to be very standard. Great understanding of the role. He does have a lot of HP and armor, enough to sustain, but he's going heads up against Black Knight on the UCLA team.
Yeah, speaking of, we were just talking about both tanks. They're now just getting into it. The Black Knight should win that fight, though. Definitely the more aggressive of the 2 tanks. And as he's doing that, we see Alona coming right here behind with heals getting ready, fighting right around that blue buff, which is a 20% health buff to whoever gets it for that round.
As you just saw it, the new Blessing of the Sun coming from UCLA's Alona player, which is now an ability that you lay down instead of the AoE that pops. But you see the Black Knight get knocked off.
Down, Rich.
And joining them in that is going to be Anne Bonnie. So it's going to be about 5 seconds before they can get into it. Pretty short cooldown time since it was their first one. And this is an already hyper-aggressive match between these two.
Yeah, both teams are absolutely non-stop going at each other. As you can see, the Relic finally just being picked up by USC's and Bonnie to try to just move it midfield. Or just kind of just sitting back in their base. They didn't even want to go for it.
Rice Boy going for that toss, and I love the lead by the Black Knight going for Pop, but Pop is gaining the additional HP that he needed from that Alona. Clutch play now, Rice Boy on attack.
Oh, wait a second. Rice Boy trying to go in. He's setting up that wall, but he can't. The Ballista is in the way. Finally, he does, but it is going to be the Spartacus of UCLA backing off just a little bit after taking some damage.
You know, in that little scramble, you see members of the UCLA team just taking out all the buildables. This way, the only one that they're going to have to deal with is the wall and the ballista. But now, Eltonen going in for his rush. But you can see 2 members getting hit by that Black Knight. He is doing work. Brendan is so good.
So good, and so many members of the USC team just absolutely crushed on HP, and down goes 1. But Spartacus also died, so it is an even game here. But now respawning, it's going to see USC coming back with the number advantage.
So it seems like they're going to have a better chance moving on in for the next push. Brendan just making it out there. Great heal by the Alona, but it's only the wall that stands between them and the relay.
These 2 teams, Rich, it's very clear, are content to fight. They want to go ahead and try to wipe the other team out. The Relic doesn't really seem to be that much of a focus here for the USC side of things, but that is potentially going to come back to bite them, as it's going to be the Black Knight going down.
Black Knight does go down. Eltonen now trying to make his way, but he's very low on HP. And Bonnie may not be there in time to save him. Rice Boy now with his charge, but he's dealing with 4 members of the team. The Relic is going to reset, and now it could actually turn over. The red team does have that red buff. That's going to be an increased DPS output of 20% for everybody on their team, and they could really turn it around in just one quick flick of a fight.
And that's what they've been trying to do mainly, is just try to get the team fights and wipe them out. But now we see only 45 seconds left on the clock. It is going to be that line in the middle of the arena. Whichever team gets the Relic past the other side is going to take it.
So as long as you have that Relic beyond that point, it seems like Blue is just trying to put on that pressure. They do lose to Spartacus for 18 seconds. He will be back for one final push, but they could actually take it. Brendan doesn't have much to deal with except for members of the team and the wall. And the red team seems like they're having trouble getting out of this defensive position.
Absolutely. You're definitely not wrong about that, Rich, as they're finally trying to get that push. Here comes Alona, 15 seconds left, trying to go for the slide, but it's knocked out of her hands. Pop, good rebound. Coming in with a kill as well. Black Knight, now they have to be careful. 5 seconds left. And a team wipe.
And a team wipe. Members falling off of the map, yes. And the way that it works in the game of Breakaway, if you fall off a map, it doesn't matter how much HP you have. You will have to wait until the respawn timer brings you in. And because of that, the red team was able to get that point.
And to be honest, it looked like the red team was kind of struggling simply because of the fact that the Relic was always in their base, but they were able to hold it off and kind of fight in front of the Relic to keep UCLA off their backs.
It's one of those moments where it just winds down. It's so the last 20 seconds of the match, nerves could be kicking in. You know, Blue had the lead the whole time, moving slowly, getting the buildables down. But once that line came into play, you could see that
that's when the
USC really came through and just
the line came out of its cage, Rich. That's literally, they were waiting to pounce. They were just holding their defense, and as soon as like you said, the red Spartacus spawned for USC, they were gone. But wait a second, speaking of gone, that ballista so good. One of the buildables, or excuse me, the buildable for Anbot.
But you can see Brennan is in a tough spot. He's dealing with the Ballista and 4 members, but now Pop is going to be leading the charge just to get the Relic out of there. And this seems to be the pressure that UCLA wants. They want to put on this pressure as much as possible. And you can see the difference between net worth. It's not too far, but 4K, you know, it is a heroic item, or it can be 2 to 3 items distributed amongst the team. They got to try to use this to their advantage.
You know, this is a very risky play coming out of USC, just sitting in the back, playing off the Relic or playing in front of it. But I actually really like this, Richard. You don't see a lot of teams do this. They're very confident in their ability to kind of turtle and then just push out when they need to as soon as that 1 minute mark happens and that line comes out.
Now Lieutenant trying to go in. He's not going to be denied, but there's going to be some action by the blue Ziggurat. Let's see if blue team now looks like passing is coming into effect. This could be one of the formations that they build up to try to get in there. That Ballista has been doing work, but now the difference is the blue team has a red buff, and it could assist in their approach to push.
Absolutely. That's a lot of damage, 25% damage for your team for that round. The thing that's surprising me, though, is they have... That's surprising, first of all, but they have control of the midfield, and they're not going for the blue buff. If you have the blue and the red buff, that's huge. That
will be huge. The blue buff is still available for teams to pick, and it's definitely on the side of the UCLA team to get. Great heal coming in from Alona, but action is starting to take place. Pop now going heads up against Brennan. 2 tanks going at it, and Brennan has this life lead against 2 members of the USC team.
Yeah, Eltonen needs to be very careful here, carrying the Relic with no health, and there it is, Rice Boy taking him out to the fields.
And that's the damage that comes out of Spartacus. If you're going for that attack damage straight up by, you know, it's not really risky, but all you do need a couple combos and you can just completely erase anybody. Brennan does have a line. His breakaway opportunity is in.
Oh, wait a second. Rich, the savior coming from the Alona. What a clutch play. And we often see it's always the Alona coming into the clutch. The support type is so good at resetting the Relic and getting it out. That was literally a score, I thought, for UCLA.
Eltonen with the very clutch. I feel like we pronounced his name 3 different times,
yes,
but it's because he's awesome.
He's so good that he has 3 different names.
Yes, he's evolving as he's coming off with these amazing blocks. The name's just getting better and better. Rice Boy now approaching with members of his team. Doesn't have the support. He's dealing the damage, and you can see that clutch Blessing of the Sun coming in from the Alona.
Yeah, 2 heals, though. Literally, there was 2 Blessings of the Sun at the same time, which meant that both teams were just negating all the damage being done. But now it's finally going to be USC putting some pressure on the UCLA team, pushing it into their base. There goes another Blessing of the Sun. This fight is happening with only 10 seconds left. This is looking for like another victory here for UFC. If USC can just keep it here, 4 seconds left.
Eltonen again, the MVP so far for the USC team. He's been blocking. You know, there was that one error where he fell off the map, but he quickly recovered. And that's one of the things that you have to admire from the player like that, where, you know what, you're down, you have to sacrifice, like, your team has to suffer just for a little bit, but you coming in the very end is going to be that almost form of encouragement that's going to boost everybody back up. We're down to the 3rd round. This could be match point.
I'm going to be honest.
Game point.
Like you said, that round was won for UCLA, but
USC actually took that.
I know, but I'm saying before that, with the Alona knocked it out when the Black Knight was just running for free, that just shows how good Elton has been. I don't even know if that's his name. I'm gonna call him LT.
I get it's evolving. Round by round, it could get better and better.
Speaking of evolving, there is a little bit of a aggressive play here coming off of the Alona of UCLA, and she's actually been more passive this entire game, but finally some aggression. Rice Boy trying to get the relic forward, but that ballista is just there to stop as well as the walls.
Now both teams missing one member of the team and Bonnie down, so not much DPS is going to be coming out from USC. Apocalypse now with possession of the relic. It looks like they're going for the slow play, perhaps waiting for Ann Bonnie to come back in, and now it is going to be touched by GC, the other opposite side damage dealer. Let's see how they move on in. The blue team seems to be doing this. They may be overcommitting a lot in these pushes, and red is just simply counter pushing over and over again.
And that goes into what I was saying earlier, is USC is so confident with just sitting back and turtling until they overcommit, and once they do, they finally get the chance to score, and that's going to be it. The first game is going to be going to USC.
A very free push in that last one. This team did a good job just pushing everyone out.
Yeah.
It was great pathing decision on his side because he avoided the ballista. I feel like the aggro was pulled by his allies to pull that ballista aggro, and they were able to take it. So game one is going to be awarded over to the USC team in a very convincing 3-0 points.
Yeah, it was very close. There was two instances where I feel like UCLA could have really capitalized, but for whatever reason, they kind of fell flat, especially with the Alona coming in the second to last round with that clutch reset off the relic. And then, of course, just the turtle formation coming out of USC. It was just so strong. They were able to play with the relic in their base, which is something that's very rare. We don't see that a lot. And once it was time for them to pounce, they just did and absolutely took it.
So there's, a lot of heat between these two teams. We're going to be swapping over to Atlantis. So I believe that map change could be the need that UCLA is kind of wishing for at this point. Maybe they would change their comp. We'll see as soon as we jump into the game. But these two teams are actually fighting for some cool swag that's going to be provided by our friends over at Razer. So a lot is on the line for these guys.
Shout out to Razer, of course. Razer and Asus, the reasons that this is even possible. So let's just real quick talk about Atlantis and what the difference is there. I don't really think we're going to see too much of a comp change, but Eldorado kind of encourages that turtley style because there is less to worry about. Atlantis is much different. You have different levels. You have different ways to approach. You have an elevator. So I think that if USC tries to go for that more turtley style here, it's probably not going to work out as well for them.
No, you're right. The two paths, the elevators, the difference in the buffs, armor and gold could actually work in favor of a team that wants to constantly add pressure the way that UCLA does. So the thing is, they have to win this map. And if they do, we're going to revert back to El Dorado, which seems to be the favorable map for USC.
I would agree with you 100%. And again, this all comes down to UCLA's kind of presence of mind to make sure that they take importance for those buffs. We saw in the second round that they had midfield control, and they didn't finish off the blue buff, which would have actually helped them not get team wiped that round.
So match 2 begins now. We're here at Atlantis. Different buffs, and looks like the comps are going to remain the same. Let's see what type of buys. Very standard buys. Soul Reaper going for that contract, trying to maximize on the economy based off of kills and assists. Cooldowns on the Alona. Let's jump right into it. Let's see how these two teams change up their playstyle. UCLA just has to mix it up a little bit.
I agree with you. I really think they do need to mix it up. I think they need to be aggressive, but not as overcommitted aggressive, if you know what I'm saying.
And right away, USC is able to get that 3,000 gold from the gold buff, so that's going to be an even amount of 750 across the board to be shared with everybody. But, as always, UCLA applying that pressure. Let's see if they can change it around, and let's see if that push actually works in their favor for game 2.
Yeah, so you said that gold buff is 3,000 split. In my opinion, that is one of the strongest buffs in this game. The gold buff is so vital to getting that early kind of snowball going as far as team fights go, your damage, or maybe if you have a really strong tank that can't be killed, that can be just hell on the other team.
Absolutely. That with 750 gold, you have, most items to trade from. 500 all the way up to 850. There's a lot of options that you have, and there's a lot of info that you can learn from your opponents just to make that reactive buy. Let's see, though, if the red team is able to go back. At this point, you just need to take one person out of blue, revert back to base, buy that equipment, and come back in stronger, like within the first minute of the game. But now Wizard, I almost called him Wizard of Oz, but Wizard's now going in, and he's trying to just gain possession of this relic. But Soul Reaper with that and Bonnie.
So it looks like so far I was actually wrong. This turtle style is still working for USC, even though, you know, Atlantis is a much more varied map style. And as we see here in the middle, like they have honestly complete control of the relic. Their healer is doing an absolutely amazing job of making sure that they're all still sustained in the middle so they don't have to move. But wait a second, Rice Boy here with a breakaway has the relic going towards. He has to watch out for the ballista as well as the spike traps. He's just not going to get there.
3 members of USC there to take advantage of almost the poor positioning choice by UCLA, but he did not suffer a kill or a death from that. And now USC with push.
Oh, that was actually potential. I was going to say that was almost a wasted ultimate there from Elton, the Alona player, but everyone kind of ran into it. That's also something that I really like about USC is they have a really great presence of mind that when Elton drops that ultimate, they all make sure that they're running into it.
They're running into it, but they're also forcing a lot of the fights. Switch over to the bottom side. Wizard now going in for his attempt. Is going to take 2 shots from the ballista. Ballista still wanted some more, but now Pop in possession of the relic to be joined by Soul Reaper and Eltonin. Let's see if this 3-man push can help him out. We're down to our last minute, and the magical yellow line is in play.
There it is, indeed. A lot of the USC team members are very low here. It's going to be Eltonin trying to get off towards the left side of the arena.
And Bonnie with those shots just forcing the fumble. Now Wizard going for his attempt. He's on high road. Let's see if he can move on in. They're getting so close. Oh, and you can see that buckshot. Would have been a great opportunity to pass through for something that I don't even see you do.
No, that was a very nice, speaking of nice shots, Hullbuster right into the side of the healer of UCLA. This is not going to be very rough for them to get kind of get control of this fight. Is now Poppy's going to be popping thorns. That ultimate ability so good for the Black Knight. Complete control right now from USC as they're running it in with only 10 seconds left. Melissa is still in play, but it may not be enough. What a shot from the USC and Bonnie.
Yes, but it's a 4v3 with 5 seconds left on the clock. Let's see if Wizard can do it. This catch can result in a toss, and now you can see UCLA is on the board.
What an amazing play from USC's and Bonnie to get that last shot, but then what a fantastic recovery by UCLA to get that right back over that line.
It seemed like it was just going to be in favor for either one of the teams, but it's just like that last 5 seconds. Who's going to have possession over it?
Literally anything can happen in the last 5 seconds, and that's what makes, honestly, for me, that's what makes Breakaway so exciting is there's never a point where you're assured victory, especially if you let it go to the time. We've seen games where you'll have a Spartacus just get from one side of the field to the other in 5 seconds. You don't even know how that happened.
Now Wizard taking on the role as that relic runner. You know, very aggressive. We've seen a lot of success, especially from last week where we saw Butter Beanie just shine as a relic runner.
Man,
this could have inspired. You know, that play alone could be inspiring. Both the Alona players, as you've been seeing, have just maintained a lot of possession with the relic, and now 3 members of USC trying to go on for that push. And it seems like they want to turn it around this time. They're applying the pressure.
This is a lot of pressure. In fact, this is way more pressure we're seeing here from USC than I think we've seen all game, to be quite honest. They're definitely trying to pour it on right now.
Rice Boy with that deny is getting fumbled. Great shots coming in from the Alona on the back line. Now Eltonin with possession. Is he going to go for the elevator? Yes, he does. He does have support from all his team, from all his allies. Let's see if he can go in for a push.
Oh, trying to get it off. No, he might just go down, but it's going to be the Black Knight. No, gets tagged. Spartacus.
Oh, this could be it, but it could also result in a wipe. So close to death. They almost went down. Great play.
Scrambles, anyone?
You know what? they had less than 20% HP. It was just getting so down to the wire. You know, one of the ways to actually score a point in a game of Breakaway is to completely eliminate everybody on the opposite team.
They were so
And
close to getting
USC
eliminated.
risked it all.
Yeah.
But as a result, we are even. One round apiece between these two teams. All players getting very, very strong. Apocalypse already having a level 4 heroic item on attack damage. Pop as well with that shield.
There's so much damage on USC's side right now. It's actually scary, to be completely honest. Especially with that Spartacus. He tears through the back line, which is your Alona, your Morgan, your Anbani.
That damage is as a result of this gold advantage that they do have. 17k versus 26k in USC's favor. Now I feel like they're going to want to force these team fights. The Black Knight just starting and initiating every single time. Pretty good trade-off on that end.
Really
UCLA showing that they can fight even with the disadvantage of, you know, not having the equipment that the opposite team has. And great play so far.
Such fantastic awareness from the. I'm really impressed, honestly, by the Alona of USC. Elton's doing a great job of managing not only his cooldowns, but as well as his buildables. He waited to put that down when people kind of backed off in this team. This giant team fight is still happening, and he is keeping everybody up.
Now the shrine, the healing shrine does go down thanks to Brendan. That's going to give UCLA a little bit more leeway to push on in. There's now this full toss from them, but Rice Boy now with the attempt. He's going to go in to deal with two ballistas and many members of the USC team.
That's awful. That's literally awful to deal with.
They have to slow play. The Anbani, you know, the Anbani and Alona combination could wither away at the damage for those ballistas. It's almost one of those things now you can't ignore it. You have to take it down because the ballista is so strong.
So one ballista is not so bad because the ballista has a certain range of which it can attack you. If you get right next to it, it can no longer hit you. The problem is there's 3 ballistas and they're all placed at different ranges, which means that if you negate one, you're probably in range for the other 2. That's exactly what happened there.
In addition to that, all buildables since the update do have an increase in HP, making them that much more significant in each one of these team fights and pushes.
And that just made Anbani's ballista even more annoying than it was before, if I'm being honest.
It's definitely one of the more stronger buildables in a game if you don't have your approach planned out with your team. And I think that's one of the things that UCLA is starting to build up slowly. Hopefully it's not going to be too late for them because they are under in terms of games won. This, you know, all USC needs to do is win this game, the next 2 rounds, and they can close it out. But they're dealing with a deficit in gold. They only have about 1:30 on the line. But they're applying this pressure now and letting them know.
Yeah, and they have these ballistas to deal with. You spelled that out really well, Rich. They are trying to make a push here, but unfortunately it does look like, oh my goodness, the damage coming onto UCLA's Alona from the Spartacus. How fitting, a Trojan Spartacus.
Yes.
From USC just tearing through the healer, and that's what Spartacus is best at. And now it looks like the team fight has come to the favor of, once again, USC, even though the Relic is on their side of the field.
Relic is on their side of the field, but now territory win is also a possibility for one of the ways to win this round. You can see the pressure coming in. Rice Boy is going all in. Doesn't have much HP, but he is getting the clutch. AoE Blessing of the Sun coming in from Wizard in the back. Now the fight is taking place over here, and the blue team has a chance to push it in. This is where USC does very well. Last 30 seconds of the game.
This is where they shine almost every single time. Except we did see a steal from the UCLA's Alona Wizard of Wars. But wait a second, Rice Boy is trying to make something happen here. Breakaway throws it away. It's going to be Elton in now. And Brendan with the interception. Only 14 seconds left. Apocalypse needs to make this play count. He's got to get that relic as far as possible. Going for the elevator.
Every single time they're able to get in. USC could close it this time, and you know what? It's guaranteed. Elton with the support that last time. He's just been an MVP this entire series. Fantastic play, just using the full mobile options that a character like Alona has. Yes, you're super mobile. You don't get to heal in the process, but you can go big for your team and actually close it out. Possible match point in favor of USC this time. All they need is one more.
One more to close it out. 3-0 the first map on El Dorado, potentially 3-1 here on Atlantis. So USC is showing that they came to play today.
They've been playing since early this morning. These two rival teams, you know, maybe playing some mind games between each other, because there have been a lot of different picks, you know, coming from this morning and what we're seeing today. But this is, hopefully you guys are enjoying it. If you're tuning in right now, this is our undercard match between USC and UCLA, because later on today we will have FullMetal versus Kalology in the GM Breakaway Office League Season 3. And now back to the action. As
Technically, it went to Apocalypse.
It did go to Apocalypse.
You're not wrong. And it is, again, this is just, USC has honestly been just dictating the entire pace of the match on both maps. Sure, we had UCLA kind of steal it away with one of the territory wins, but this has been 100% USC's game, simply because of the fact that they're using their buildables well, their team fighting well, they have control of the relic even when it's on their side. There's just kind of this lack of cohesion I'm also seeing on UCLA's side as well. Like they kind of want to go for the wipe, but then they kind of back off, then they overcommit. So I feel like the cohesion is much better on USC's side.
You know, one of the players that have just been doing so well, as you can see, is on fire, is that Spartacus player.
Oh, he is just tearing apart UCLA from the back.
He totally is, and you know, Eltonin just
Trojan
going in
horse?
with that pressure. Yeah, it's so fitting. Look,
It
at
is.
that Rice Boy with the retribution, but it may not be enough.
But
All this pressure
the
coming in.
heals from Eltonin literally just negated that entire ultimate retribution coming from Rice Boy. This is what I'm talking about. The healers are so critical. Support are always so critical in games like this, especially in Breakaway, when damage is stacking up. You're in the third, the fourth, the fifth round, but wait a second, we have Rice Boy trying to make something happen. Those ballistas aren't going to be in range, and there it is.
A free push, a breakaway, if you will, by Rice Boy, evening it up. They're here to play. They could match it up, and if they win, we're going to go back onto El Dorado.
Absolutely.
And it's one of those things where if you come off a win, you can ride that momentum.
But here's the thing that worries me for UCLA. USC may have kind of just realized what their biggest issue was in kind of letting the relic go and let it stay in their base too long, that they may adapt, because they've been adapting well so far both games.
They have been. USC did lose the lead that they have of 10 to 12,000 gold. Now the gap has been brought in.
Oh, wait a second.
It's 43,000 versus 40. Rice Boy now going in.
No, there's no way those ballistas.
It's Ballista City in there.
Yeah.
Yep. The capital of buildables. Ballista City. Not let you in.
It's Ballista City, and he's not only a resident, he's the mayor right now. He does not want to be there.
Senator
Ooh,
Black
ooh,
Knight Pop.
ooh.
It is a Black Knight mirror between these two, and Pop decides to go on the lower route, which seems to be the most successful route for USC in each one of these runs and attempts. But nice.
It's always Rice Boy. Rice Boy he's the one that's trying to make the play, trying to get the relic as close as he possibly can to the relay point of USC, but it looks like I said, USC is trying to kind of adapt, and they're making sure they're paying much more attention to the relics than they were the last few rounds.
So Wizard of War is now going in. He's going to go in for the Blessing of the Sun. Last attempt heal on there. Perhaps a juke attempt so that they can bake on the lower left side. But now,
oh, they need to be careful.
USC just trying to reset the positioning.
Look how low everyone on the team of UCLA is, though, with GC now trying to go. Wait a second, he is going to have to deal with the ballista.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of damage.
Unfortunately,
he is melting.
Yeah, he literally melted. That's also one of the really big things about this game, is managing when you should dash, because GC dashed way too early when he wasn't being threatened. Had he saved it, he may have actually scored there and won the game for his team.
So Black Knight exchanging his life, but Bonnie does return for the UCLA team. Eltonin trying to close it out for the USC team along with them. And I like the pacing. They're slowing it down just a little bit, realizing that the Bliss is the only thing in front of them.
Right.
As many members of the blue team on UCLA are melting the second you look at him. Rice Boy trying to play that front line. Barely makes it out of there.
Oh, what a
gone.
shot! Soul Reaper is going to literally reap the soul there of UCLA's Trojan horse in Spartacus.
Now Apocalypse going in, but he's going to have to deal with the Thorns.
Oh,
Pop
the
with the last hit
chance.
on that. This could be the strike that they need. Elton
So
and Pop
close.
and team
Dodges,
going
no.
in.
He doesn't get it, and now it's going to be Elton in. One more chance. Goes for the teleport, but doesn't get it. Relic gets knocked out. Here comes Soul Reaper now trying to get something started as well, but it looks like Wizard of Wars is going to be, or excuse me, Wizard of Oz is going to be resetting control of the Relic here.
Wizard of Wars is better.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I also like
everyone's handles
You know
are
what? I
evolving
don't care
by
what
the
his
round.
name is. He's not Wizard of Wars. Simple.
Now we're down. We're getting close to that 1 minute mark. You're going to see that fantastic yellow line in just a little bit. And this is where the pressure starts to come in. And you can see Brendan in the front line. Can Apocalypse do it?
Oh my goodness, it's getting now so close. It's
And he wins that trade. Rice Boy.
That's actually not a bad place for that healing shrine because it's kind of acted like a mini wall.
Now the blocked Pop was able to force that fumble and is one of the problems that Wizard of Oz and Rice Boy are having to deal with. Eltonin now going in for this 2v1. Can they take her out? I believe that taking her out will help them out.
Oh, and they're going to because she used her defensive ability to try to get away. Unfortunately, she ran into the side of the ramp, which now means the 30 seconds advantage here on the field is going to be going to USC as they're now pushing up this Relic.
This could be Apocalypse going for that lower side. 23 seconds left on the clock. Rice Boy with the dash is able to hit it, but Pop has just been this unmovable machine pushing that Relic.
And
for
here
Rice
it is.
Boy.
Here it is, Rich. Here's the last scramble. 10 seconds left. Eltonin is going to be going down, but now the Relic is being reset. Still very close, still very doable here. Oh, but that's it. It's going to be USC taking 2 games to 0.
USC closing it out right there, winning the match on Atlantis. It seemed to be working out very well for UCLA, but they weren't able to clutch it out at the very last round. They evened it up. It was going to be exciting. I was hoping for another match so we could see what happens on El Dorado.
So, I was just going to say that the biggest thing for me was the fact that USC was just much better at managing the pressure that they were being put under by UCLA,
Yes.
but also it was Eltonin's amazing ability to manage the health of everyone on her team and to make sure that they didn't overcommit or undercommit when times when they had the advantage and they were to push. So for me, they were just the more solid team today.
You know what? Nonetheless, a fantastic play by both these teams. USC versus UCLA, an amazing undercard that we have before the main event happening later on today between the GMs of FullMetal and Kalology. These two teams that we have over here, though, had less than 12 hours of play, and we got to see some really cool things.
Good.
Great relic
Really
movement,
good.
great passing, combat. You know, some of the players that definitely stuck out were Pop and Eltonin. Pop was just so disruptive with that Black Knight that last game. Apocalypse as well with, you know, with him being on fire for more than 3 rounds of that fight, only getting put out at the very last one. And on the other side, Rice Boy, clutch runs, was able to get in. Didn't even need to use the dodge roll to get that
They
point.
literally just ran it right in.
And Wizard of Wars as well.
Wizard of Wars, that is his name. I don't care
calling
what
him
he
that.
says. He has no choice. This is our studio.
So for all you folks at home, don't forget to give us a follow on all things social, and make sure to hit us up on our Facebook, Twitter, as well as YouTube for all your Breakaway needs. If you're looking for content for any one of the broadcasts that happen over here, feel free to watch us on YouTube or watch the archives just to join in to see what happened for all the exciting moments in chat. And don't forget, one of the most important things that you could do is to hit that follow button. You'll be notified the second that we go live, and you can join us for all these live broadcasts. Dustin, that match did finish off, and it was very close, but that's not it.
So before we go, because we are going to take a little quick break, but before we go, I kind of want to know where your thoughts are on this next match.
So FullMetal and
you
Kalology, both teams are led by amazing GMs. Everybody in the studio has been practicing a lot. The scrim room has been packed to the T, and people are now in queue just to be able to practice. But I would say that Kalology's team and FullMetal are bringing in new mixes and new players. It's hard for me to actually determine who's going to win. It's one of those things where I don't really care because I know it's going to be
$600 million that Kalo's team wins.
So Kalology, $600 million backing that up.
600
I'm going to find
million.
out how to match that. But Nonetheless, that's going to be it for us. We'll be back in just a little bit to feature the GM battle for the Breakaway Office League Season 3. I'm Filthy Rich.
And I'm Godspeed.
See you in a little bit.
Vicious with the score. He could get it in. Vicious for the win.
Welcome back to Throwdown Thursday. I'm Filthy Rich.
I'm Mr. Sill. Rich, it's good to be back. Give a quick shout out to Godspeed. Thanks for covering that amazing match you guys just saw between USC and UCLA. Unfortunately, my Bruins this time around, it wasn't quite for them, but don't worry. I still got my A-clap. We got this thing. Next time.
Starting off the show, these two Titan teams got to play against each other. Great play. USC really clutched it out at the very end. But we're just getting started.
That's right. This is the Breakaway Office League Season 3, everybody. We've seen 3 weeks now. This is being the third week of the Office League. Week 1, we got to see FullMetal. Didn't do quite so well, but he's back for redemption now, Rich. So FullMetal's got his team. He's got Rusty Robot in the mix now. He was out of commission last time they played, so it'll be interesting to see what trusty old Rusty, as they like to call him, how he's going to perform today. And then, of course, the premiere of Kalology's team.
Highly anticipated team, a fantastic player, a great leader and GM. He has been talking a lot with his team, and I've been seeing a lot of great outcomes from the scrims that Kalology's team has been having over here. I can't wait till you guys see some of the plays they come out with.
Absolutely. Before we get to that, though, let's give a quick shout-out to our sponsor, Asus, the official monitor and system provider for Breakaway. The VG248QE, it's a 24-inch monitor well-known in the competitive scene in esports for its 144 Hz refresh rate with 1 millisecond response time. And, of course, you got that G11 desktop. It sheds light on uncompromising performance. This powerful machine allows you to play Breakaway without sacrificing your gameplay experience and give you the ability to stream in the best possible quality. Rich, let's get things started. People have been watching.
Yeah, people have been watching, and if you're new to the channel, what we've been doing is we've been bringing on teams that were put together by amazing GMs that we found out in the community. That was the whole spin with Season 3. Before we get into the team intros, there are videos that the GMs have put together for each one of these teams. So let's just jump right into the introduction for Kalo and the Cadavals.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Relic Room. I'm going to be your host, Icon. I'm sitting here today with Kalo, the GM for the Cadavals, or aka the Cadabbler-in-Chief. How you doing today, Kalo?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, Icon?
I'm doing awesome, my man. So we grabbed some questions from Twitter, and we're going to be asking them to you today. You ready to go through them?
Yeah, let's do it.
Perfect. Question number 1, are you confident in the players that you picked?
Oh, definitely. I mean, Bonesgate exists for a reason. Tovar, best running in the building by far. Not Vert, easy sleeper pick. And Otterhead's consistency on Thorgrim, unmatched.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself, fam. Question number 2, in your opinion, what is the biggest challenge you'll face against Panda Fury?
Definitely old Rusty. He's a threat on all bounds. I don't know how else to say it.
They do have Trusty or Rusty now, don't they? I guess we'll have to see how that pandas out. Question number 3 is, last week we took a look at the new build for Breakaway. How do you think your team will be performing on it?
For the most part, we're pretty good.
Whoa! It's time for the lightning round. How does it feel to be a support main?
I carry.
How old will you be when beta's out?
Probably 30.
What's your favorite pizza topping?
Pineapple. Chicken or beef?
Chicken.
Mom.
Do you wish you had a beard like FullMetal?
I mean, of course I do.
Oh man, it looks like we're out of time today. I'm Icon, and this has been the Relic Room. Caleb, my man, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, actually, I guess I'd like to thank the Breakaway dev team. They've been nothing short of amazing. Rich has taken so many of us community members in and made us feel like family. Knock Nas has made some of the best animations I've ever seen, ever. Gucci, always silent, gotta appreciate it.
There you have it, Rich. A very interesting approach there. Kalology going to the Relic Room, and quick shout out to Icon for doing that. That was some awesome interviewing happening there. The thing that I don't understand is, how is Kalology able to change his clothes so fast?
My question is, how was he able to answer that lightning round that well? That was a crazy series of questions.
I think my favorite part was when he said that he would be 30 by the time the beta comes out. Now, I have no idea how old Kalo is, but, maybe he's 29. Maybe he's, All right, let's introduce the Cadabbles. Kicking it off here for the Cadabbles in the chair that is Red 1. It is the man known as Not Vert.
Not Vert. One of the most talked about 30 players that we've had over here on Throwdown Thursday. He showed us what it's like to play Ann Bonnie, and this player has been growing ever since that day. But today, he's bringing out the Rollins.
Yeah, Not Vert, one of the guys I was definitely talking up during the Combine. Kalology was listening, and he picked him up real fast. It'd be interesting to see if Not Vert, hopefully he makes me look good today because I got high hopes for him winning my imaginary Mr. Sill pool for the Breakaway 30s. In the number 2 spot, we got a man that everyone loves, the guy behind the signs. It is GL Tovar.
Let's see, watch him roll in. Yes, GL Tovar has showed us exactly how to run the Relic, play an amazing line of defense, and just be a healer at the same time, all in one game. He's going to be playing Alona for game number 1. Expect some of the best plays that you have ever seen in Breakaway from our man, the GL Tovar.
All right, well, you heard Kalo call it out in his interview. He said, how can I lose? I got Bones Gate, and in the number 3 spot, we have Bones.
One of the best runners that we've ever seen in a game of Breakaway is playing over here. He was part of the victory that took place last season. Bones is going to be coming in. Could it be Thorgrim? Will it be something new? I feel like at this point, the guy has so much experience. And there it is, surprises for days. Morgan Le Fay on Bones.
We have seen Bones play Morgan before, definitely solid player. Be interesting to see if he gets to counteract it. The question is, will the man who normally always plays Thorgrim, will he switch to Black Knight? We'll soon find out. Let's introduce the Otterhead.
Otterhead, Season 1 Office League champ, back here on Throwdown Thursday. One of the best baiters for Thorgrim throws that we've ever seen on Throwdown Thursday. And there it is. To meet the fans' expectations, Thorgrim for pick number 1 on Otterhead.
All right, and you saw her in the back there. She's helping, throwing down kapow signs and zap, making like Batman 1950s style. Give it up for the UX Killer, coach of the Cadabbles.
I've had time to sit down with UX Killer. She's been strategizing on some crazy new tech. They have been talking about fighting a little bit more. You normally expect a lot of running from this team, but they've been focusing their last scrim on what they could do on combat. Perhaps some great notes and wise words of wisdom from their leader and GM, Kalology. Expect some of the best. This team is coming out strong, David.
Now, I will say, though, we saw in the last week's episode, Butter Beanie was like off the rails. And you got to wonder, was that because of the inspirational messages of her coach? And we didn't quite get that with Kalology. He did a very nice scene. It was funny, but he wasn't really pumping up his team.
Well, we'll have to see in the first series of matches. It's going to be an exciting best out of 5. But let's hear what the other GM from the Panda Fury has to say with our good friend, FullMetal.
All right, Panda Fury. This week's match is going to be short, sweet, and to the point, just like this message. I know we're facing the Cadabbles, but all I see are some kid dumplings. So let's get hungry and go feast.
There you have it. FullMetal, man of few words. This guy's coming off his first loss. He doesn't want to go 0-2 here in the Office League. He just says, you know what, let's take it to him. It's feeding time. I did like how he called them the Kadumplings, though. I thought that was nice.
And I do like the panda on the shoulder.
Props to that, There were no animals harmed in the filming of FullMetal's video. Let's introduce the Panda Fury. Leading it off, we have a substitution. So filling in, we have Blam!
One of my favorite names to announce. Blam is going to be bringing some great DPS onto the table. We see him play a lot of Alona. We could see some surprises in here. But he's going to be going up against Not Vert. Is it going to be Ann Bonnie for the pick? We'll see in just a little bit. And there it is. Ann Bonnie on Blam.
All right. In the number 2 chair, coming off of his fresh week-long run on the Discovery Channel, it is Shark Week, everybody!
He is the man who probably why a lot of the changes have made it into this game. He inspired the idea where economy is priority number 1. He played a lot of Rollins, but today he's going to be bringing Thorgrim onto the stage, and I believe we're playing on Atlantis, which is a great pick. Nonetheless, Chark is a fantastic player, has a great mindset, great at shot calling. Let's see what he could do for his team.
Let me ask you this real quick, Rich. You think Chark switching to Thorgrim has to do with the fact that they are playing on a new version of Breakaway where you do not get gold for buildable destruction?
Chark all around just makes great calls, great plays. I think the wall is going to be something that is going to make or break the team, how that's going to be placed. But their next player is a fantastic
Another member of the Breakaway 30 Club. We saw him in action 2 weeks ago. We're going to see him here again. Give it up for the Shushu Bear!
Shushu Bear first showed us his ability with Spartacus, and it was amazing for his first game on Throwdown Thursday. This time, he's going to be joining his team, and he's going to be repping that Spartacus as well. Let's see how he does in his second attempt this time around for Throwdown Thursday. Shushu Bear on Spartacus.
All right, and in the number 4 chair, coming off of his week-long injury, he's back in action. It is trusty Old Rusty, everybody.
Old Rusty Robot, the man that we all know as the legendary coach of Breakaway. He's going to be playing this time.
Look at
We've seen
that,
him
doing
play
the
Alona,
robot.
But one of the roles that he's taken on is to be the actual shot caller. How it's going to coordinate with Charsky as the Alona for pick number 1 could be a challenge, but it could also be something that takes him out of this streak of a loss and help him.
Well, the guy who's going to help him is the guy behind the guy. It is the coach of the Panda Fury. Here he is, the Spooky Forest.
Spooky Forest repping that Panda. He has been a player as well as a coach that has grown every single time that he's been on stage over here. It is going to be very exciting to see what he brings to the table. These two coaches come with a wealth of experience, and these two teams have so much experience playing together. The first map that we're going to be playing on, David, is Atlantis. So also, don't forget, guys, if you haven't already hit that follow button, don't miss out on any hype. Let's jump into it. Game number 1, Cadabbles versus Panda Fury.
All right, we are here at Atlantis, as you mentioned, Rich. Again, this is a best-of-5 series, so the first team to win 3 games will be coming home the victor today. Here we see Panda Fury had the ball briefly, but now we're looking back at Chark. Chark playing that Thorgrim. Very uncharacteristic of Chark. We'll see later today how well he's able to do it, but there's a quick move there from Bones playing as Morgan Le Fay, going all rush all the time. Typical Bones pattern. He's unable to capitalize this time around, but here's Bones on the quick rebound. He does make a pass upfield, does get thwarted though, and now we see Chark using that Ragnarok, the ultimate ability of Thorgrim, to stop the quick onslaught from Panda Fury and slow things down for the Cadabbles.
Not many buildables in play, but it's also nice to see that Chark is in the front line, and he's doing a great job just causing a lot of disruption, a lot of destruction as well, but the red team is pushing on through. They could have a chance over here, David.
All right, here we see Chark with the Relic. The Relic is that ball you see at the center of the screen, just got passed upfield to Shushu Bear, which got intercepted by Bones, and Bones has it again. The way you win in Breakaway, there are 3 ways actually you can win in Breakaway. The first way is you take that Relic, which now that Thorgrim character has, which Otterhead is possessing in his hand and just lost it, and you bring that to your opponent's base. That is the primary way to win in Breakaway. The other way to win is you annihilate the other team. Every time you take someone down, they have a respawn timer. The more you kill them, the more their respawn timer grows. If you can wipe the whole team, you will get the second way to win, and we will talk about the third win to see if there's a score here, though, real quick. And it looks like the Panda Fury are able to hold off that attack, but Bones on the quick attempt. I spoke too soon. Give it up for Bones. You can never count this guy out, Rich.
Bones for point number 1, just reserving that dash the second that he makes contact with the Relic is exactly why he's on this team. Look at that. The second he touched it, almost the first frame he touched the floor, use that dash, great spacing. Point number 1 on Cadabbles. So
Yeah.
we're jumping into our screen, and you can see the Cadabbles probably just listening to their GM and investing in that money. Those 3 items on the 3 characters under Rollins have items that provide additional gold per second, and they're going big. You can see that this will pay off in the later rounds, and they're in the lead just by a tad bit. But let's jump into it, David, round number 2.
All right, you see Chark with control of the Relic now, gives it up. Bones able to pick up the Relic. He gets healed from the healer Alona character. As we see Chark now with control of the Relic, we see all of a sudden Old Rusty Robot coming into play now. He is playing as Alona as well. Alona is the healing warrior. We have here in Breakaway, Chark with control of the Relic. He does lose it. Whenever you have the Relic in your hand, it only takes 1 hit from an opposing shot. Could be a Sword Slash, could be a Magical Blast, and you will fumble that Relic. That's why you see that Relic going up in the air there. Bones doing a beautiful job picking up the interception, but it does get fumbled though due to, again, those quick hits. As Bones able to pick up his own fumble, does pass it upfield, gets caught by Old Rusty Robot. He does get caught up into a burden of sin. from the Morgan Le Fay character of Bones. Bones gives it off quick to Tovar. Tovar unable to capitalize, and now we see that Shushu Bear able to clear it for the Kadabbles.
Not Burt using his ulti at the end, and now Bones with a chance, but he doesn't have the silence. But here's the thing, blue team has been on the ropes the whole time. Panda Fury needs to find a way to stop this running pressure that's coming in from the Kadabbles, David.
Yeah, absolutely. You see there, that's the healing shrine. Every warrior in Breakaway now gets one buildable. That's a change that's been made recently with this new version of the game that you are seeing, first and foremost. So each warrior now has one buildable they can use at their disposal. That healing shrine is Alona's. Nice passes up there to Otterhead. Otterhead unable to capitalize. The Shushu Bear comes up with a nice save.
Clutch interception, having to deal with an amazing series of passes, but still a lot of pressure on coming in from the red team Kalology.
That's right, Old Rusty Robot doing a nice job using Sun's Grace to teleport ahead, gets the relic, and now he's going on his own version, just trying to clear that relic, get it out of their base as the relentless pressure just keeps coming from Bones.
Bones is just causing so much pressure, and again, it's one of the reasons why their item purchase with Philosopher's Stone is working. They're not really aiming to fight, they're just rushing this relic, but nobody on the other team is capitalizing on the fact that there's no armor or DPS coming out. They have to start to deal damage, and I think that that is one way that they can be effective against Bones.
That buildable you see in the distance there, that is a new buildable from Morgan Le Fay. It is known as the Tome of Malaise, and it causes slowdown with enemies that fall into the radius of that. There you see the Circle of Spite. That is an ability, another ability of Morgan Le Fay. Wherever you see that pentagram, if you are caught in the middle of it and you are on the opposing team, get out of that pentagram, because that will cause you to slow down and receive more damage.
Right before, you saw an amazing toss by Chark, but he is going to retreat, get a little bit more HP, and now the blue team, FullMetal, is going to be playing a little bit of defense, and they've locked out the top side.
Here you go, Bones going right side for his rush. He does use the pass, throws it in and scores!
Just on the brim. He made it hard for them to decide, is he going to pass it, is he going to dash? It was a great mix-up placed by him. Second point by Bones. This guy is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, Bones doing a great job to see that replay. Using that dash, gaining ground, and then he just walks it in.
The whole team is being effective. You have Notbert going in with that Rollins, dealing damage. But before we get into that, you can see that the economy between these two teams are pretty even. As soon as all these buys are done, it won't be that much of a gap. But we have level 4s on the board. We have Notbert with that demolition, no buildables in play. And on the other side, you have Blam. He now has a level 4 Philosopher's Stone, so this could be a snowball that could work in their favor. Let's see what they can do and if they can turn it around. They've been playing defense the whole time.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's going to happen when you're playing against Bones. Bones just keeps pressure on. That's how he plays. I don't think there's another dimension to Bones. It's just not Rush. Here he is, rushing again. Tries to get it in there for the quick game win, but unable to do so on the second attempt. He barely misses it, and now we see Shushu Bear throwing it the wrong way. That's dangerous, buddy. But thank God you got Chark there, saving the day, just clearing it momentarily. Bones picking up the fumble, though. Bones can get it in here. Here he goes. Bones on a nice pass up to Tovar. Tovar tries to throw it, gets stopped there, but with the walk-in, give it up for the Otterhead.
The relic bullying has been immense. Kalology and the Kadabbles are ready to play. There's just, it seems like there's nothing that can really stop this right now. I believe that perhaps the change in the map, because the way that Season 3 is structured is that we're starting off on one map and switching over to the next. There has to be something that changes because we're going to be going on to El Dorado. Perhaps this is the opportunity that FullMetal and team need.
But El Dorado, I mean, that's more of even going to be more rushing for Bones.
It could be rushing because of the way it's designed, but I feel like with Charsky on Thorgrim and him putting up walls, he could actually isolate and create a lane that could force a lot of team fights. Now, it's a lot easier said than done, but we'll see. They have to do that.
Now, we didn't really see any buildables get placed by Panda Fury.
If they were put down, they were
Not Bert?
destroyed immediately by Notbert. He's committed to the demolition. He's doing his job. He's just making any defensive structures that would cause any blockers for what we've seen, the 3 runners. And it's been great every single time. No buildables really coming into play. And if they are, like, he's actually building up money from it. It seems like FullMetal and team have to turn it around. Maybe it's them that has to put on the pressure. We've seen nothing but offense from Kalology and team. I actually want to know, do they have defense if it was ever put on them?
They say the best defense is a good offense, right? So we're about to see that today, maybe. Because I'll tell you, man, we've been doing this Office League for 3 seasons now. For 3 seasons, no one has been able to counteract the Bones rush.
I think one of the characters that could come into play is Victor. We've seen Victor just do a lot of damage. That AoE on his auto attack actually forces fumbles, and it's going to lower down his cooldown. It's just going to deal a lot of AoE damage. It's a recommendation I would make. I'm not sure if they're going to follow it.
What about Jara, the new warrior we just unveiled last week
could
with
see.
DM Brandon?
You know, Jara, our assassin character, deals a lot of single target damage, could take out the Morgan Le Fay in one combo if executed correctly. That could be a great solution. Let's jump into it. You are seeing El Dorado for game number 2 between the Cadabbles and Panda Fury. Let's jump into it.
Oh, look at that. Blam picking up the Victor.
So Victor
Nicely
now
done, sir.
in play. Hopefully it is the counter to the pushing power that they have. But Blam going for that attack damage. No more Philosopher's Stone. On the other side of the team, 2 Philosopher's Stones, standard builds, demolition on your favorite player, not Vert. Let's go into it. Round number 1.
We're in the center of the action here on El Dorado. El Dorado is a more condensed map, so it's built more for team fighting. We'll see if that plays any effect. We see Old Rusty Robot doing the quick rush there. Shark doing a nice job picking up the fumble. You see Healing try and get placed down there by the Alona character. That is the Healing Warrior on Breakaway. As we see Bones picking up, he's to maintain Morgan Le Fay. Why not? If it works, why change it? We see the Relic going, falling down the steps there. Not Vert picking it up, jumping around as Rollins, he goes center field, trying to just gain some distance, but he does get stopped by Blam, who's doing a good job there playing defense there for the Panda Fury.
Blam is the last line of defense, and Old Rusty Robot gets knocked down. Clutch ulti by Chark just to hit that, but not Vert. And team to pressure. And look at that, Victor, the buildable as well as his fumbling capabilities is actually saving the team a little bit more than it was from the previous match.
Absolutely, that Jacob's Ladder, that is the one buildable that Victor gets now. What it does is anytime an enemy is jumping in its vicinity, it will zap you with electricity. It is known as the Bone Stopper, if you will, and he's done a great job there, but that buildable does go down, so mad props to Not Vert for doing his job, taking down the buildables. Not Vert with control of the Relic, tries to charge it, but he waits too long. The fumble gets forced, and now Not Vert is forced to use his barrage, unable to do a lot of damage. It's worth noting that we do see Otterhead has switched to the Black Knight.
You can see that damage. Oh, Chark with the follow-up from the back toss is able to turn this into a 3v4. Now you can see the red team is bleeding a little bit more than they were last time, and I believe it's because of this damage that's coming out from Blam now.
Yeah, Blam doing a great job. They also have the damage buff on their team. That's the red crystal you see up in the left side of your screen. As we see the Relic going down there, falling into the abyss, it gets auto-spawn back where it left. Bones doing a good job with the Eldorado slide. Bones with the breakaway. Can he go all the way? No! Shark doing a great job, but on the second attempt, it is Tovar. That is teamwork, ladies and gentlemen. Bam!
Blam was able to land the shot, but you know what? Kalology and team will never go in alone. You can see the follow, amazing air rebound. That is so hard, David. And of course, it is done by the one and only Mr. GL Tovar.
You know, honestly, Rich, I don't know what's more impressive about that play. Was it the fact that Tovar was in beautiful position, or was it that shot from across the court of Blam doing a good job doing Blam!
Fantastic plays all around. It started off with that majestic slide that was led by Bones. Just gave him the breakaway that he needed. Now we're starting to see more defensive plays up in here. But here's the thing. Victor's a character that will scale at the later rounds. Not the strongest in early. Needs to get a kill, but hold on, David. There's some action going on right now. Red team
we're
is
seeing
pushing.
Bones is trying to do it, but you got that Jacob's Ladder prying just enough time. Just like a couple milliseconds is all you need to catch up to Bones. Nice back toss there from Otterhead, but he does miss the Throwgrim. He's unable to throw him off the map, which we call the Throwgrim. As we see now, Bones right over across where the Relic is. As you see, Bones now with control of the Relic, loses it temporarily, and I'm sorry, I miscredited Otterhead because he's the guy who always does the Throwgrim. That was Chark there, which is probably why he didn't actually knock him off the map.
So now fight by the middle side, but FullMetal's team, the Pandas, are not doing so good. One member down. Spartacus is so low. Victor's one of those guys that just dies in one combo. Chark now with the rush, trying to juke people out with some good footwork, and somehow is able to use that shield, and he's dealing with the 3v1. He could go down, and there he goes.
Yeah, you got 2 people down there on Panda Fury. Spartacus just popped in another quarter. He's back in action. Might not mass it, though, because here comes Bones. Nice pass to Tovar. Tovar throws it from downtown, shoots the 3-pointer, and scores!
Looking really, really strong for the Cadabbles. There's a reason why we saved it for the later weeks, right? This is the premiere.
Kalo feeling pretty good right now.
So let us know what you guys think at home, please. As we watch these two teams go against each other, it is the Cadabbles on the blue. Oh, Cadabbles on the red team and Panda Fury on blue. Let's talk about these items. There is a a little bit of a lead by the red team, and they also have the lead in terms of points scored. This could be another shutout, David. 3-0 victory. That's going to be 6 rounds straight if they take this.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. They're still yet to be able to find a good counter there for Bones. I mean, it's really just about Bones. Hashtag BonesGate. It's live. Except this time he actually got drafted. So.
And again, these
Oh,
fantastic
Bones, what is he
series,
doing?
you know,
You've never seen that.
Never.
It's going to his head. He's hearing us talk him up, and he's like, I'm just reveling in the glory. That's one of those, like, Terrell Owens or Deshaun Jackson moments where he's running in the end zone and he showboats and he drops it right at the 1 yard line and makes me lose my fantasy championship. Not like I'm bitter, but it doesn't matter. Here he goes again, makes the jump. Here comes Bones going left side. Is he able to score it? No, he gets stopped in the action there. Good job from Old Rusty Robot, but there's Tovar on the 1-2 second attempt, but he's able to miss it this time around. So you gotta wonder if Panda Fury, they're starting to get a little bit in the hand of it now. The nerves are starting to settle as we're seeing things play a little bit differently though. As Tovar coming in, nice pass upfield.
Gosh.
But it does get stopped though. And Shushu Bear just doing what he can just to try to clear that relic as much as possible. Nice placement of that healing shrine from Tovar. That's gonna heal his team in the very, good forward position as Tovar goes in for attack run, passes it to Bones, and there was no one there.
You know what? Sometimes, hold on, David. You know what? You just gotta moonwalk it in. Now
I mean,
watch
literally,
this
there
guy.
is no one there on the Panda Furies.
The first ever moonwalk relic score by Bones. Tell us what we need to name that. Bones just creating something brand new. New tech in the making live on Throwdown Thursday. Fantastic series of rounds. They are 6 rounds straight, David. Could we ever see our first official blowout with 9 rounds won?
I don't know. I gotta say, if I'm Spooky Forest, I'm calling up Butter Beanie, and I'm like, hey, how quickly can you walk over and get in the studio? Because we need something here.
I think what's happening right now is there is a lot of pressure just coming in from the running combos. Not many people just understanding how to stop Bones. His pathing, the slides that he's taking on both Atlantis and Dorado have been pristine.
Let's be clear, though. Hang on. It's
Okay.
not just Bones. Tovar is right there. His positioning is perfect. They focus on Bones, and then there's Tovar taking the rebound and scoring it right to him.
In addition to that, we're seeing not Vert in the back line, just causing so much disruption without Rollins. Rollins being a character whose attack rate actually increased in this version of the game, does more damage, and he doesn't have the side strafing as much as he does before, but he's able to get into these duels, push people out, so that when people like Bones and Gio Tovar or even Otterhead go in, anybody that's there has low HP, and it's crazy. You're seeing this as a result. Every single one of the team fights, the blue team is down in HP. Red is advancing. These aggressive shrines. Like, this team is all around doing it. They're fighting and they're running the relic. I don't know how anybody can stop them.
I don't know. We've seen some impressive teams, though, here in Season 3. So
we will see.
I will say that, if you look at, what we've seen in the previous weeks with the other characters, you saw things like, Miss DJM had a pretty solid team. Shidosha has a great team there. Maybe, it looks like Kalo's team's pretty stacked too. Like, there's definitely, if you had to pick right now, what's your week 3 prediction? Who's going in the finals? Is it going to be the Cadabbles?
From what I've seen, I have to say that they are our favorite. It's a team that is very varied in terms of skills. We know that Bones can run the relic, but in previous seasons, Season 2, we've seen him play this backline Morgan that just will not let anything go through. Notvert has proven himself to be this amazing DPS frontline guy that understands his role as a disruptor. He's taken out all the buildables. He's instilling fear onto the team to the point where, if you watch the mini-map, there are no buildables that ever get placed. And Otterhead being Otterhead, that Thorgrim that just chucks everyone off the map, and of course, GL Tovar, the way that he pairs with anybody on the team as the Alona is amazing. I say that they are my picks because they're going against a really stacked team. You have Blam, who's subbing in, a fantastic DPS player.
Blam!
And you also have Chark and Old Rusty Robot. Shushu Bear has had 1 or 2 games over here. He's getting better over time, but the other 3 stacked, very, very good, and Kalology has won 6 rounds straight. So
Now,
it tells you a lot.
Kalology, he spent a lot of money to get Bones as his first pick. So far, he's looking pretty smart about that.
He
right?
does write a lot of strategies. If you guys want to see some of the strategies that Kalology has put together, either join us on Discord or you can check out our forums at forums.playbreakaway.com. You can read up on all the amazing write-ups that this guy has. There's a reason he's here. This just in, folks. We have a special debut. Jara has made it onto the
Jara
field.
is making her appearance in Throwdown Thursday. Sorry, hold on. Making her appearance in Throwdown Thursday. It's none other than Jara, everybody. Jara is our assassin character, my personal favorite character of the original Warriors in Breakaway. I was sad when she got taken on a little hiatus for some gameplay improvements. I like to definitely exploit that character. Now she's back. It'll be interesting to see what everybody thinks.
Yeah, we'll see what she does. There's a lot of execution that's required from the player to be able to use her to her full potential. And if you mess up, you're dead. You basically you give up a complete character slot.
My record as Jara. I'm definitely the YOLO type player.
But that is the mentality within the assassin-based character. Low HP, insane damage output. You're very straightforward. You know you have to buy armor. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You know you have to buy attack damage, and if somebody has armor, buy that armor pen. Because one combo, one ability, into her slash combo can kill almost anybody in the entire cast right now.
Now, we've actually we've made a lot of changes in this build of Breakaway, as you guys are all witnessing right now. So tell us what you think. Put in the chat. What do you think? Do you like the new icons for the equipment you can buy? Do you like the idea of one buildable per warrior? Do you like the fact that, you know, Bones is smoking everybody? What do you think? Let us know.
So I think teams are getting ready. There was a required change because they really wanted to bring Jara into the comp. So thank you very much for being patient with us. I believe that we're about to get started up, and we're going to be returning onto Atlantis. This is a chance. I think we've seen this before, right? One team leading 2-0, and then the reverse sweep could happen. Can Panda Fury and team do it? Let's see as we return back to Atlantis. Game number 3 for for Throwdown Thursday.
That's right, Rich. This is game 3. This could be match point or match game, I guess, if the Cadabbles are able to do it. Bones is switching gears. He is playing as Jara. Let's follow Jara a little bit as we talk about this new warrior. Rich, you talked about the fact that she's an assassin. She's got a whole breadth of cool abilities. She can actually stealth, as we're seeing right now. So there she is. She is invisible to the other opponents until she doesn't attack or she gets close enough and a timer ticks down. Bones is, switching over now to old Rusty Robot because he's doing a quick push. Rusty Robot doing his best impression of Bones, but he's unable to capitalize, so clearly it's not a very good impression. As now we see Tovar playing as Thorgrim. He's got the relic. He throws it upfield, just getting more and more distance as a beautiful move from Otterhead, playing uncharacteristically, playing as Alona.
They do have some padding to try some additional comps. All teams throughout the entire season of Breakaway Office League just have to acquire.
Here comes Otterhead, though. It doesn't matter who he plays as because he's got the score. Throw in the 3. Give it up for the Otterhead.
So that's 7 rounds straight so far from Kalology and team. We are seeing some additional characters, new comps into the mix, players playing characters that we've never seen before. I want to see what Bones does because he has Jara. Jara has one of the fastest movement speeds in general in the game. The second, though, that she holds a relic, she will drop down to default just like everyone else. But we know Bones is sick with the navigation. Let's talk about this. Chark already at level 4. Chark back on Demolition. This could be the start for a lot of great things. Let's go back into it as we see Bones going in for that ultimate. See that damage?
Nice job on that, man. That is known as Eviscerate. That is when Jara just basically does a series of rapid strikes and literally eviscerates your opponent. You saw her take down half the health of Shushu Bear, making him regret the fact that he wanted to touch that relic. Again, beautiful job as the assassin character. Bones went in stealth. You didn't even see him come in with the eviscerate. You just saw it there demoing it for you, even though he was doing it in midair because there's no other enemies there. But he was showing off, making me look good as a commentator. I appreciate that, Bones. Thanks, buddy.
So Bones is into it, but now Blam running the relic. He is in a tough spot because you do not want to go heads up against Jara. Everybody evades that maelstrom from Victor. This could be the start to a great.
Oh no! Shushu Bear, no! Misses it. Tries to get a little clever, trying to go from the back door. Does get stopped. And now we see the red team doing a good job stopping it, as you see the Panda Fury getting furious trying to get that relic in there, but it's just not going to happen. The Kadabbles doing a beautiful job stopping it. Nice job from Shark playing as Bonnie now, passing it down to Tovar in the heat of action. Here we go. Blam! Doing a great job trying to get back in the action. Blam passes it up, but gets nice interception from Tovar with the flying interception there, playing as Thorgrim, one of our tank warriors in Breakaway.
Tovar and team moving in Chark as the last line of defense. You could take him out in 1 second. Nope, that would have resulted in a team wipe, David. But look at this two-man team, Thorgrim and Alona. Nice passing between these two. Not much stopping him besides the Jacob's Ladder, as well as that the Ballista in the background. Actually, that's pretty tough to deal with. Let's see what they can do.
That Maelstrom is a little bit better there from Blam, who does a good job there as Shushubar takes control of the relic. He is now the lead rusher there for the Panda Fury, but may not be a good strategy though for Spooky Forest to make the lead rusher be a guy who's only ranked 30 in the Breakaway draft.
Old Rusty Robot just toying with his HP. Not much. And he just dodges that pounce from Chara. Chara now with the slash.
Oh, with the Eviscerate. Does a beautiful job there again. Use that stealth ability, combo it with the Eviscerate, and man, that is a nasty sandwich for Old Rusty to run into as Blam does a good job putting the Panda Fury on the board. Give it up for Blam.
So Blam, the hero of the team, makes Kalology
Oh,
team.
look at that. Nice.
He lets him know that he's there to play. So I think there's a couple of cool changes up into the mix in terms of this comp. Chark on Demolition. You know, right now he's at level 4, starting to scale up with his attack damage. Blam as well. If he's able to get that heroic plus cooldown, either one of those will make him so important in these fights. And on the other side, look at that. Otterhead going for attack damage on him. He wants to heal for max HP every single time. Let's jump into it. Round number 3.
Yeah, on game 3, Rich, you saw Blam do a great job with the Maelstrom at the center of the field, trying to stop the rush from the Kadabbles, who always try to go right for that relic. The timing was a little bit off, but I do applaud the strategy there, as we see Tovar just using the Ragnarok. Again, a little bit early, but we do have Shushu Bear with a nice pass up to Blam. Blam does get hit in the back line from the ranged characters there on the Kadabbles. Give it up there for the Ambani character, as you see a nice pass there to Shushu Bear. Shushu Bear on his run does get stopped from the Ballista. Again, that's what deadly. Oh, look at that wall. That was almost Gucci caliber, as the guy literally ran right into the wall.
Gucci has inspired many players on this team, but you can see FullMetal team down 2. It's going to take about 5 seconds before Ambani can join in, and they may have to pull out of this one, David. And it is going to be red team's turn for the push.
That's right, you saw the new Blessing of the Sun there. That's that green aura you see on the field. You just go inside that aura and you will gain health. That is the new ultimate ability of Alona, the healing character here in Breakaway. And you are watching Breakaway, everybody. We have 2 minutes and 42 seconds left to go. This is Game 3, Round 3 in our Breakaway Office League Season 3 for Week 3.
It was built for you. The schedule was built for you. Now Lovar with an opportunity to go in both.
Oh!
Shushu
Shushu Bear with the Shushu Steal!
Shushu
What a
Bear.
beautiful job there. Just snatched it right from his face.
You just need a taste of momentum, and that's exactly what Panda Fury is trying to take advantage of. They got a great score from Blam that last time, and I feel like it's building up the confidence that they need to turn this into a real match. Now the fight's back in middle. Let's see what these two teams can do. Two members of Kalology are on fire, and one of those, being the assassin, is something that you definitely have to worry about if you're on Panda Fury's team.
Shushu Bear doing a nice job there, just getting into the fight, just laying it to whoever has that relic. He is on full-on relic magnet duty. He looks at the relic and he just sucks it into him and just tries to attack him with the double swords. We see a pass happen though, which was intercepted by Otterhead. Otterhead very low on health. You see that red bar, he's down to 1 tick left. He's got a little inch of health. Will he heal himself? No, he will get destroyed right before your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. And now we see Shushu Bear almost there to score. Does get stopped at the last second from Tovar, doing a beautiful job. We got Chark in the distance doing a good job on defense. Tovar forced to take the high road. He's just going to charge throw to clear that relic, and he throws it right to Shushu Bear, who does a quick pass to Blam. Blam passes it to Robot. Robot throws it back to Shushu Bear. Shushu Bear's got to worry about Otterhead. Otterhead does stop it, forcing the fumble, and a nice rib splitter there from Tovar, polished off from a beautiful back toss.
So that's Blessing of the Sun coming in clutch from the Alona player on FullMetal's team. They're going to try to stay alive, but again, 2 members down. This 2v4 thing seems to be a regular thing.
Oh,
Bear now the
back.
chance.
Look at that Shushu Bear, dude. That is a veteran move.
Oh, stop
Shushu
it.
Bear. He's
Stop
got
it,
the Shushu Bear steal, and now it's the Shushu Bear slide, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that play. Hopefully we get the replay on that one. There it is. Does a beautiful job. He throws the relic there, uses his no retreat to dash forward, picks it up again, and scores. Shushu Bear, way to go, buddy.
So Panda team now in a position where they can win this game. Let's see if they can do one more round needed. Let's talk about these buys. All players start to get stacked up. Shushu Bear on that attack damage and is liking that movement speed. I love seeing the variation. Chark doing his charge-like things. Demolition level 4, attack damage level 4, and is starting to tack on that armor penetration. This team is going to start to do some damage. They have to start to turn it around, and we're jumping into it. Fight over here by the Gofa.
Rusty Robot just throwing the relic there as much as he can just to gain ground. Tovar picking up that relic and again throwing it back to the other team as we see action happening right at the foot of the midpoint of Atlantis. And we see Bones just sitting there waiting to pounce. He decides to go invisible, uses his Eviscerate, does take down a lot of damage of Shushu Bear. Shushu Bear barely able to stay alive, and he has made it, ladies and gentlemen. Good work there from Shushu Bear, getting some healing, clutch heal from Alona. As we see now, Shushu Bear with control of the relic, throws it back to old Rusty Robot, who barely misses that connection. That was just a mistiming there. That would have been sweet had they connected there. Forcing, though, the relic to go the other side there as Tovar now has control of it, throws it upfield to Bones. Bones not really playing his normal rushing self with this character.
It's kind of hard to do that. She only has 375 HP, and that's going to be, 1.5 combos at this point in the game. So he's got to lay by. Wow, pounce from across the seas. Bones with that amazing pounce just to wipe out Alona from Panda Fury.
Yeah, old Rusty's not going to be feeling that one tomorrow morning. As Notvert has control of the relic. Notvert on his attack run. He's waiting around, just waiting for his team. He's going to time that elevator, but it looks like he's not going to time it well because he's forced to go back to midfield where he does have to cough up the relic, and the relic now gets in control of Shushu Bear. Shushu Bear, this guy, man.
He's starting to step it up. Shushu Bear catches his own pass.
Oh, Shushu Bear with the Shushu Bear slide again! But he gets stopped with the ballista. You got to take out those buildables, guys. Come on, Panda Fury, buildables.
I believe he
Spooky.
still has a
buildables.
dash. He still has a dash, David, so one right spot. Oh, and he lands the elevator.
That was a beautiful elevator timing. You nailed it, Rich. Good call on that one. Beautiful job taking the elevator. You see the wall going up there trying to stop Shushu Bear.
So putting up that wall, a.k.a. rent. That is the rent for that upper platform. You're going to have to pay if you want to get past. Notvert now trying to make his path, evening it up. Does he have a pass? Yes, he does.
Will he pass it? Yes, he passes it to Otterhead and makes the score. And you know what that is? That is Notvert hearing us talk about Shushu Bear. And he's like, oh, no, you don't. I am going to win this whole Mr. Sill Breakaway 30 poll. Beautiful pass. Look at that. That is teamwork to perfection.
Great pass. They avoided the shot from the ballista at the very end, and they evened it up. Now, match point in favor of the red, but only game point for Panda Fury. I would like to see this stretch out a little bit more. I love it when the games go down to the very last one. All these teams, Bones with 11-1. Old Rusty Robot needs to stay alive a little bit longer, but that's one of the strengths of Jara. He's able to take out somebody like Alona in a matter of one combo. And there it is. Ooh. Big combo Maelstrom. Lovar trying to finish this game as quick as he possibly can. Let's see what they can do.
Old Rusty trying to put the nails on it, and there it is. Old Rusty coming clutch. That is why he is trusty Old Rusty, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. They are distracted by the scrum. Rusty comes in, throws it in with a veteran move, and they are staying alive, ladies and gentlemen. Cue up the 70s music. Staying alive, Panda Fury.
Panda Fury is in the game. It is 2-1 in terms of games won between these two. Old Rusty Robot, Panda Fury, and team showing life. Shushu Bear stepping it up as that runner.
Shushu Bear got 2 memes out of that round.
I mean, we were talking about this earlier. How does Kalology and team do under the pressure of having to play defense? That defensive line, do they have what it takes? Everything seems to be committed towards moving that relic forward, fighting over there in their base, but they seem to be a little bit lost as soon as the relic was in their area.
Yeah, once Bones switched from being a lead rusher to being more of a assassin character wait and just pick off people. I mean, he got 11 kills. Like, give the guy credit. 11 kills, 1 death. That's pretty good.
Yes.
Pretty good. But he wasn't doing his job of rushing, so that's their whole strategy. When you're playing one-dimensional and the one dimension is rush and you're not rushing,
Correct.
you're probably losing.
So we're going to go back onto El Dorado. We're going to see if Panda Fury and team are able to even it up. Otherwise, if Kalology and the Cadabbles are able to win this game, they win it for this week's Throwdown Thursday. Please let us know what you think. If you have any questions about Breakaway, hit us up on chat right now in the text box below. And if you haven't already, tell your friends and family that Breakaway is live right now. Don't forget to hit that follow button.
At the top of your screen, the
This
little
way-
heart, hit the heart.
This way you get all the updates and every single time that we broadcast. Let's go into it. Sounds like we're in El Dorado. David, here we are.
All right.
Game 4.
It is game 4, as you mentioned, Rich. This is it. It is sudden death if you are the Panda Fury. You need to win this one to stay alive. If you are the Cadabbles, you need to score it in. And look at that, Bones going back to Morgan Le Fay because he knows that he is on rush duty.
Not Vert going with that demolition. Bones and Lovar going with the Philosopher's Stone. On the other side, what is Chark going to go with? And he's going to go with the level 2 demolition. Seems like they found a nice mix, and Blam is still on Victor. Let's see what
who was that?
happens. So big fight over here by the Shrine. Blue team playing a little bit of defense. Shushu Bear now taking on this role as Relic Runner, and it seems to definitely be working in this team's favor.
It is working, Rich, but he does get caught up in that circle of spite. So you got to watch out for that when you're playing against a Morgan Le Fay character. You see that pentagram on the ground. Watch out for it. Blam on the attack run. Is he able to get it in? These guys are just muscling their way closer and closer to the relay, but they're unable to capitalize on it. Rusty on the 3rd attempt just passes it backfield just to clear it. And you see, look at that, just freaking wrecking ball as it's now just Chark. Chark's the only one alive. Chark's got to do the dance move. He's able to buy his time, and now his team's back to life. Tries to be a good use of the Maelstrom there from Blam, but he's unable to time it. He's really got to work on those Maelstroms, as now we see momentum shifting. Tovar trying to take it in, unable to capitalize on that one, and the Relic is back to midfield again. But Bones looking like he's maybe going to do a little action there. Again, you see that new buildable of Morgan Le Fay. That is known as the Tome of Malaise. And there's Bones. Oh, Bones with the fumble at the last second. But a beautiful job of that circle of spite, slowing Chark down so he can't take the Relic to clear it. Tovar on the 2nd attempt, and there's the score.
This pressure coming in from the Cadabbles is what we're normally used to seeing. It seems to be unstoppable once this comp is in play. There were a few opportunities that FullMetal and the Panda Fury team could have taken advantage of. However, seems like Bones and team were able to slip on in, and point number 1 goes to them. Now we're starting to see the players start to get stronger. Chark on level 3 demolition. On the other side, not Vert with heroic already. So you can see that he is winning in that role of destruction. And Bones going for that cooldown split between Philosopher's Stone as well as cooldown on Lovar. Let's see how round number 2 comes into play on El Dorado.
All right, you saw Bones cast the Burden of Sin. That's when those Ravens go out there. Bones doing the El Dorado slide. Whoa! Shushu Bear tried to go for him, but missed the timing. And look at that, the Relic is stuck, but able to get picked up from Tovar. Tovar throws it in there. Nice job there from the Panda Fury saving the day. You saw pass back to Chark. Chark loses it for a second there, gets thrown back there with the Tome of Malaise. As we see Tovar with it, gives it to Bones. Bones saves it as Chark attack! Chark attack comes and saves the day.
Chark with that clutch sleeve is able to move in with that Relic. All members of the red team are moving in, and that slow buildable, that slow forcing buildable, 30% movement reduction is just being so annoying for everybody on Panda Fury. Now Bones with an attempt is going to get the support that he always has with 3 members of the team. The Relic likes this little ledge over
Yeah,
here.
you know,
David.
it's nice. It's good view. You got a little waterfall below you. You know, it's just chilling.
It's forcing a lot of suicides from the opposite team alone at 10 seconds before she can play again.
There goes Otterhead. Oh, nice move from Shushu Bear. It's the Shushu Bear slap. And now we see Shushu Bear with control of the Relic momentarily. Does lose it. Chark in the back line forces to use his Hullbuster rather, as Not Vert fires off Barrage, the ultimate ability of the Rollins character. And ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Breakaway.
Otterhead just doing so much damage. back-to-back kills, but also just moving this relic and keeping it in there. He has so much to say. In. Now Bones positioning himself for a potential pass. Let's see what they can do with it.
Otterhead doing a good job of just soaking up that damage thanks to the Radiance from Tovar. Tovar Radiance is an ability that Alona has that basically throws that field of electricity or healing energy, if you will, sun's rays, giving your character life as you are losing it. So it's a good use to have it, giving it to your tank as he's taking damage, which you just saw there. As we see now, Bones throwing it to the right side.
Oh.
Good job from Blam! Doing a saving the day for this team. These guys are just scrappy, man. They're fighting for life here.
Red team does have a little bit of advantage in these advances because they do have the red buff. That's going to be 20% damage increase, but to counter that, you can see the blue. Watch as Blam now goes in.
Blam's on this
Can he
attack
do it?
mode. No,
This
it's
is
not
a
looking
bad
good.
spot for Blam.
It's not good. We didn't notice Tovar was right there waiting for him. Tovar does it, the pass upfield to Bones. Bones gets stopped doing the Eldorado slide as we see their old rusty robot forced to combo the run. But
Wow.
Bones, look at that, slides into the relic, but unfortunately he can't hang on to it due to the great work there from Chark picking him off from backfield. And now we see the Eldorado slide again from Bones. He's going it, nice pass up to Tovar. Tovar throws it from downtown, but Chark attack comes and saves the day for the Panda Fury. But look at that, Tovar with the leap.
You can only play defense for so long. It was just one minor error. Great blocking by everyone on Panda Fury. But at this point, you got to get a little bit of fatigue. It's going to be hard to anticipate where these tosses are coming from. Point number 2, potential match set point in favor of the Cadavals.
Yeah, Kalo's looking pretty good right now, Rich. We see, gold pretty similar, split down the middle. Item buys, we're seeing level 4 heroic buys on both sides. What are we seeing here with these hourglasses?
Those
Rich?
hourglasses are cooldown reduction equipment items. They will reduce the cooldown for all the abilities that we have, and there are 4 abilities that you do have in your kit.
Now that was a nice maelstrom from
Indeed.
Blam, so
And
good
you're-
job there.
You're starting to see Victor just getting stronger, but it could also be too late. He could be the strongest that he could be, but 1 relic score is needed from the red team, and they could do it right
Look
here.
at this.
Right now.
I mean, they're just doing decimating work on the Panda Fury. And you can't get gold from buildables anymore, but you do get gold from killing other players. So that's why you're going to see the red team scale pretty much here. As we see Bones throwing the relic up there. Not just short, but here comes Otterhead, but he gets stopped. And now again, that circle of spite. That is clutch circle of spite every time. So whenever Panda Fury gets it, Bones pops that circle of spite, slows their team down so they're unable to get the relic out of their red zone. That is a beautiful move there, and I hope everyone's taking note who wants to play as Morgan Le Fay, because that is pro move right there.
The duo combo that's starting to just push is really the Alona and the Black Knight. Alona just healing Black Knight whenever needed. Hold on, we might have it over here, David.
Here comes Tovar!
And an in-air rebound. Transition into toss is going to result in your winners for today, and that is the Cadavals led by GM Kalology.
Yeah, the Cadabbles, bad props to them. Give it up to the UX Killer, to Notvert, to Tovar, to Bones, to Otterhead, and of course, to Kalo.
On the other side, everybody played very well. Blam was an amazing sub. We got to see some great Victor play. Chark as well on Anbani, something new. We also seen him play Thorgrim. Shushu Bear as a new runner.
Shushu Bear,
did very, very well. And of course, old Rusty Robot was one of the start of it all to just get that 1 point and help build a little bit of momentum onto the team.
Definitely the momentum shift there for old Rusty. And I would say, like, my play of the MVP of this match, I would say it's almost Bones, but Tovar.
Yes.
Tovar scored, I think, 4 of the goals. Like, he's given Butterbeanie a run for her money. They do sit right next to each other. You gotta wonder, maybe there's something happening in the UI pod. They just know how to play Alona.
That little area definitely is compact with a lot of runners for this game of Breakaway. Again, we just want to give thanks to everybody tuning in. You are watching Breakaway Office League, and if you haven't already, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, as well as YouTube for all your Breakaway needs. All of our videos and all the Throwdown Thursdays can be seen on those channels. But if you haven't already, hit that follow button. Make sure that you're with us every single time that we broadcast. And this is only week 3, as we mentioned. And there's going to be more of this action taking place here.
Do we know who's playing next week, Rich?
You can find out more on playbreakaway.com for all that action. Otherwise, our Twitter and all our social channels are popping. We just want to say thank you very much. So from all of us over here at Amazon Game Studios, I'm Filthy Rich.
I'm Mr. Sill. Have a good night, everybody. See you next week.